Hi, I'm Kelley. Welcome to my channel. I like to create decor pieces that transition across seasons, and this cute little spring sign is no exception. Just flip it over and voila! It's now a rustic beach sign for summer. To see more of my DIY videos, take a second to hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified every time that I upload something new. So you may remember this sign if you shop at Dollar Tree a lot, and I've been hoarding this in my stash since Valentine's Day. I'm just sanding the heck out of it where this galvanized heart used to be that I used in a previous project, and I'll leave a link in the description. I added a drop of both red and yellow food coloring to this white chalk paint to give it more of a peach colored effect. And if you know anything about the way that I like to do my arts and crafts, is that I don't really blend the paint very thoroughly. I like to have it be a little bit streaky, a little bit uneven. In most of my projects, I like to have various color gradients throughout. I chose this warm peach tone color for my spring sign because the lettering that I'm going to be using to spell out the word spring will be of a much cooler tone, and I want them to stand out against the background. The hair dryer here is optional, but it really does speed up that drying time. One reason I really like this wood plank and why I wish there were more of these at Dollar Tree is because of the already made grooves that I only have to go and fill in, and it makes it look like there are separate planks of wood. I'm just adding some wax in the color of antique to just increase its overall look, but I didn't have to do no fancy paint tricks to make it look like there were these separate planks of wood, nor did I have to take a wood burning toolkit and add them myself to have this effect. I'm just going around the edges of these boards, and I'll also go back and fill in the grooves here a little bit more, and I'm just doing that to give this a more distressed look. And now I'm just going in with my paintbrush in random areas and adding streaks just to make it look more distressed. I had my heart on making a vertical sign, but I didn't see any letters that would fit. I like to use these aluminum cookie sheets for a lot of my craft projects in various different ways. And here I'm going to be using it to make these tin looking letters. I'm just using a simple glue stick and putting these letters on this foil upside down. To create the fake rivets, I'm using a hole puncher and just punching out pieces of foil. I'm going to glue those pieces on top of punched out cardboard to give the rivets a slightly more elevated look. I started out by painting these rivets the color of this dark deep gray with this nail polish that I have, but then I decided to make them copper, and so I started painting over them with this copper craft paint. I wanted this sign to say more than just spring. I wanted it to say welcome spring, and I like this copper toned welcome sign that comes with this garden hanger. And I'm just removing the sun part of it because I'll be using that for a summer DIY. I will admit that when I was trying to locate the center of this welcome sign in the center of this wood board, that nothing came out to a whole number, that there was actually going to be fractions or decimal points involved to get this centered. And I'm like, what does this work? I don't think so. So I just decided to try to have it even on both sides, have the space between the edge of the board and the welcome sign even on both sides. So I tried to figure out a way to have this on the sign so the sign could hang and not rely on glue alone, because I really don't like that, because I just don't trust gravity, you know? So anyway, I just put a lot of E6000 and some hot glue and, oh god, my hair. Anyway, I guess I would have combed my hair if I had known it was going to be in the video. Anyway, I put a lot of hot glue, a lot of E6000 on there, and I'm going to clamp it down like crazy because I don't want it to go anywhere. I tried to think of other ways to attach this on there and not have it interfere with the overall pleasant look of the sign, but I couldn't, so I'm just having to clamp it down. Do you think I got enough clamps on there? I'm just adding some fake rivets here, but I'm adding just aluminum ones unpainted so they'll stand out from the copper background. It was too cold and damp at the time that I did this project to be filming outside, but I had taken these pieces outside and sprayed the opposite side with some spray paint that's metallic silver and a little bit of gray, and I just spritzed each on there just lightly, just a very thin coat of each over the foil to make this look more like metal. So everything was going great, and then I got to the letter R. I took an X-Acto knife and I just started to carve out the inside. It didn't go so easy, and I think the paint on the other side made it a little bit more difficult. But once I was able to puncture a hole without damaging the piece, I was able to get some scissors in there and cut the rest out. But I would say this part is a little bit difficult. It will leave some sharp edges, just a word of caution. And you'll want to dull those down before handling the project further. I followed those same steps for the letter P. Then after I got the letter S cut out, I'm now ready to put it all together. I'm wearing gloves for this part because the heat of the glue will transfer quickly through the foil, so you want to move quickly, and also the foil will transfer the heat and cause the glue to dry quicker. So you want to have everything laid out ahead of time and have an idea of where you want it to be and how far you want everything spaced apart. I'm thinking of making a laundry sign like this. Of course, I won't put the word welcome above it. I cut off some pieces of the side of the foil pans, and I also spray painted the front of these pieces with some gray and silver spray paint, just a lightly thin coat of each. No particular order, or I don't even remember which order, but either way I think they'll turn out fine just to dull the metallic look of these letters and these side pieces here. And now I'm just adding these really cute fake copper rivets. Taking a bird stencil piece, I just drew with the pencil the outline of some birds to fill in the gaps near the welcome part of the spring sign. I then outlined my pencil marks with a fine point brown Sharpie. I filled in the birds with some wood staining furniture correction markers. I'm taking just a simple piece of chalk right here and just filling in the welcome letters to make them stand out a little more. So I continued on with my crafting OCD ritual, and that is I like to make the back look pretty and also sign and date, when all of a sudden that won't be happening because I got this really cool idea. I trimmed off some of the very round edges of these letters. It worked great for the spring sign, But for the beach sign, I'm going for a more driftwood-like effect, and I want these more squared off. So I cut off the ends, but when I trim them off of the foam board, I'm going to extend them out a little bit just to restore their size. I'm just using some simple craft glue to glue these letters upside down on the foam board. After the glue had dried, I took some scissors and just cut out the letters. In some cases, in some areas, I needed to use an X-Acto knife, but it all came out together pretty easy. I bought this roll of paper that has a wood-like front on the front, or at least the imaging is that of wood. And I really like the way that it looks. I got this from Joann's, I think in December of last year. And I don't remember exactly how much it cost because I used a coupon. They usually run about $10 per roll for this length. I feel it was money well spent because I use these in quite a few projects, especially for like shadow boxing type projects for a backdrop. Yet I do try to use it just very sparingly. I don't do a lot of experimenting with it. I use cheaper craft supplies for my experimenting. It is worth noting that this is a very good quality paper. Very solid, very opaque. I'm going around the outside edges of these letters with some antique wax on a Q-tip. I'm taking just a strip of this paper. It's a plank of wood on the paper, and it fits just perfectly with these timber blocks I got from Dollar Tree. They're like the equivalent of Jenga outside of there. And luckily this all fits like this. Otherwise I may just have to have a dark line down the side. Not that that would really matter, but anyway, it makes a perfect little piece of plank of wood that's continuous, and I made 2 of these to go on each side. Not only will these pieces make the beach side of the sign look nice, but when the spring side is facing forward, these pieces will help push it away from the wall, away from the foam lettering that I made, and it will let me put some small seashells and some little greenery pieces on there without them getting smashed or being visible when looking at the spring sign from the side. So it's a nice little touch with a purpose, and I like that. I got this net ribbon from a thrift store. I don't know who would get rid of it, but anyway, it's mine now. And I hope that I can find some more at a craft store somewhere. Maybe Walmart sells them. If any of my viewers know, please let me know where I could get some more of this. I try to use it sparingly because I don't want to run out of it anytime soon, but I thought it would be the perfect piece for this beach sign. I forgot to mention that these pieces are great on this one side because it hides these holes. I don't have to go fill them in and try to paint over them. That can be a small crafting concern. Nothing major, but still just something you don't really want to deal with when you have to hang one of these MDF boards from Dollar Tree a different way than you had intended. Now I'm just adding the finishing touches with some small seashells and some greenery. This is actually reindeer moss that I stretched out to look a little bit more like seaweed that could have washed up. I had attached a raffia bow made of colors that could go with either side and flip over when I switch the sign around. I've come up with a general pattern in how I make all my bows, and I'll be sharing a tutorial hopefully within the next week or so. If you enjoyed today's video, I hope that you'll leave a big thumbs up and post a comment before you leave. Also, you can follow me and tag me with related content on Instagram. My profile name there is Cat. Once again, I am SD Kelley, and I hope that you enjoyed this video and give it a big thumbs up if you did. Also, I hope you will subscribe to my channel because I have many more great ideas to share with you. If you're interested in following me on social media or contacting me, I'll put those links in the description below. I thank you for watching, and bye for now.